Chinese lenders have rejected Uganda's request to renegotiate a toxic clause in the $207 million loan used to expand the airport in the capital. Uganda has defaulted on debt repayment, triggering a takeover from lender Export-Import Bank from China. The loan was contracted in November 2015, and at the time the Ugandan government waived international immunity, exposing the airport to a future takeover without international protection. Entebbe International Airport is Uganda's only international airport and handles over 1.9 million passengers per year. The Congolese variant, known by the scientific name of B1640, was detected in a family in France after returning from a trip to the Republic of Congo. Congolese scientists, however, have known about it since August. It is a variant of SARS-CoV-2 responsible for COVID-19 that was described in our laboratory at the end of August 2021, and it is a variant that was then detected in other countries. The new variant has been placed under surveillance throughout Europe. The diagnostic tests currently used can detect the spike protein, one of the most important proteins that allows entry into the human cell. Indeed, the mutations in this region are very important, but to date, diagnostic tests by PCR or antigen tests seem to be able to detect this virus. But it is certain that scientists must continue to work on this virus in order to understand whether it escapes certain diagnostic tests or not. For the time being, the World Health Organization is reassuring about the virulence of the Congolese variant, but caution is needed because it could reduce the effectiveness of vaccines in Congo. The first ever FIFA Arab Cup kicks off in Qatar on Tuesday. A dress rehearsal for the World Cup, which will take place in the Emirates in a year's time. It will pit the best teams in the Arab world against each other until the grand finale on December the 18th. 6 African teams are in the running: the African champions Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco and Mauritania, as well as Egypt and Sudan. They will be facing another 10 teams from the Middle East. It's also an opportunity to discover the brand new stadiums built in Doha to host the next World Cup. There will be no players from European clubs, but some stars from the continent will be present, such as Algeria's Baghdad Bounedjah, Youssef Belaili and Yassin Brahimi. Egypt will rely on the backbone of African club champions Al Ahly, while Morocco can count on the best player of the last CHAN, Sofiane Raimi. Qatar will open the tournament on Tuesday evening against Bahrain, while Tunisia, the tournament's top-ranked nation in the FIFA rankings, will take on the Mauritanian Mourabitoun. Students in South Africa are worried about the new Omicron variant identified in the country. The rise in the number of infections among the students have led to the postponement of tests and exams.
It was just last week where they checked stats, then they realized that so many students are affected by COVID-19 at main campus, so which led to postponement of tests and exams. It's just that even though we have the stats, but we're not quite sure about the stats with a number of people who are affected and other stuff. But what we can say is that a high level, or what's in the high percentage of students has got COVID-19.
Although it is not yet clear if the new variant causes more serious disease, Many students are urging colleagues to vaccinate.
I'm trying to encourage them so that they can vaccinate, so they can stay away from coronavirus, because it's there, it's killing people. And now numbers are rising. Now when we are watching TV, we can see that people are getting coronavirus, so they must vaccinate.
The university in the city of Chuane was identified as a hotspot of infections, but there are other areas affected too.
There is an increase in the number of new COVID cases. I remember that we would normally in the last 2 weeks we had about below 50 cases per day. So we had about lower than 50 cases per day, and now that has increased to over 300 cases confirmed per day. So that tells you that the numbers are really increasing. The hotspot areas would be TU2, West Campus, Hatfield, Soshanguve and Mamelodi. So those areas are of concern. What we can say for clearly is that the numbers are rising in Tshwane, particularly in the areas that we've mentioned. However, we cannot at this stage confirm whether the new variant is a factor in this increase.
The new variant is thought to be highly transmissible, but health professionals are yet to establish if it causes more severe disease. Local experts in Algeria say that voter turnout in Saturday's local elections was still below expectations, despite some improvements. According to the election authorities, voter turnout reached around 35%. We are continuing to establish the state institutions, and as you know, the grassroots state institutions are the municipalities and the governorates, all the local collectives. It's true that they don't have great prerogatives, and that is due to the fact that they do not have the centralized resources. Despite the presidential pleas, voter turnout appeared low in the capital. More than 134,000 candidates are running for the various seats. However, some 300,000 applications were rejected by electoral authorities. Opposition parties denounced the move as unfair.